Hey there, I'm Ginny.
And I'm Monica.
And this is Hitting Her Mark,
Podcast for women in the arts, actors, filmmakers, artists who are passionately chasing their creative dreams.
all juggling the beautiful chaos of caring for the ones you love.
We're here to share stories, insights, and inspiration, proving that you can hit your mark without compromising what matters most.
So if you're ready to make your creative dreams a reality, let's dive in.
Rhoslynne BUGAY is a first-generation Filipino-Canadian performer excelling in the fields of acting, singing, dancing, and music. She has graced stages in both Canada and the USA, with her standout achievement being the portrayal of Nala in Disney's The Lion King. Motivated by her inquisitiveness and passion for the cinematic arts, Rhoslynne ventured into opportunities within the film and television industry. Her journey led her to feature in various commercials and make a notable transition to the big screen in the horror classic Silent Hill, where she skillfully embodied a prominent role as one of the iconic featured dark nurses. Rhoslynne has achieved notable roles such as Farah on Accused Season 2, Dr. Aranda in the acclaimed movie Fitting In. She has made recurring appearances as Danielle Ramos in the Emmy-nominated series Ghostwriter Season 3 and as Luna Driscoll in Murdoch Mysteries Season 15 and 17. Her recurring presence on Aurora in Top Line and her diverse appearances in productions like Sort of, Private Eyes, The Parker Andersons, and Kim's Convenience, among others, underscore her versatility and commitment to storytelling. Rhoslynne continues to thrive in the film, TV, commercial, and music theater industries and is often working on new projects in development. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have the amazing Rhoslynne BUGAY, who is a first-generation Filipino-Canadian. But not only that, she is an actor, she is a singer, she is a dancer, and she is fabulous. She has just so much insight into this industry, and we can't wait to get into it. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we always kick things off with a little bit about how you got started in this crazy industry.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I know it's extensive.
Well, it's how I got to figure out that I was a singer or storyteller, really, was when I was 9. I mean, the earliest photo my parents have of me is maybe like 3 years old with a little corded microphone to the stereo system. I'd like sing like Michael Jackson or something like that. But like singing in front of people, I was 9 and I wanted to win a Game Boy for this competition at the mall. And my mom like embodied stage mom and I had actions to the song and everything.
And my goodness.
Yeah, I won that Game Boy.
Yes, you did.
It was just such a like fun confidence boost in this thing that I did that wasn't out there. And yeah, like that's what started the path to like, I'm not going to be a doctor. Like I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I had the grades for it.
Yes. I mean, you could still, but
No,
we've
but
got choices.
maybe a naturopathic doctor, like maybe not a surgeon.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, it goes as far back as then. Is that what you're looking for? Is that the story?
Yeah. I love that origin story. It's beautiful. And then from there, like, so now, it's out there. Your parents are obviously supportive. Where did that take you? Like, did you go to school? Did you?
Yeah, I went to school. I feel like I got paid to learn, so I worked a lot. And I also went to school. I ended up doing it all alongside each other. So I'm a grad of Sheridan College, that music theater program. But it took
Nice.
5 years to get through that 3-year program. Well, that's because I was out in the world in the industry and learning and earning at the same time. And yeah, it was a fun way to start building all of my skills and, all the things you keep in your pocket that suddenly make sense when you're 44.
Rhoslynne, what was the first gig that you sort of booked? Like, were you auditioning while you were in school? Like, how were you already working in the industry?
At that point, by the time I started Sheridan, I had booked some work. So I was cast as an alternate for Kim in Miss Saigon when I was like a teenager. But then I didn't do it. Like I lost my hair. I had alopecia. Little Rhoslynne probably could not it was a good choice to go, not right now. But that, changed a lot of things. And then when I was 18, I auditioned for Canada's Wonderland. And it was such a fun summer experience that I just wanted to do all the time. So I have had it's kind of like through that way. Wow. It's crazy to think about my life. I know I could have prepared for this. I know my life, but
No,
it's not something we talk about all the time. So I'm like, wow, if I think about it all along the way to here, holy moly, it's a wild ride because could sing pop. I can sing a lot of genres. And while I was getting into my first year of Sheridan in 2000, I got into Pop Stars, which is kind of like a Canadian Idol, but not live, totally curated. As soon as I gave my own answers for certain things, the storyline would shift so it is like I left school for that and went full out for that. And then I went on a cruise ship for Disney Cruise Lines. That was my first go at that. And that was like a big stretch because I hadn't danced that much in my life. And I was expected to dance like sharp, 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 like an actual dancer. And then I come back, the world of pop is open to me. And these are stories I don't talk about very often, but like offers with Sony and conversations with Universal. Yes. And every time these opportunities would come to me, that Rhoslynne would get so afraid of what the industry I thought was like based on tabloids, based on famous people. I don't know. Filipino fear.
Yeah.
It's like I would sabotage or I would like find a different path,
Yeah.
So I look back at those moments and I'm like, wow, I said no to a lot of big things. Like I remember I was in rehearsals for that first Disney Cruise Line contract and the Pop Stars people called me and they said, this is what happened. You were the sixth. We would like to invite you to be the fifth. And I'm in the rehearsal hall going, but I work for Disney. So no, thanks. No, thank you. And they were like, what? So yeah,
So this was for Sugar Jones, right?
Sugar Jones, yeah. I forgot about how could I forget?
Because Monica also did the
Audition for Pop Stars. I did not make it as far as you, Rhoslynne.
Oh my gosh. Were we in the boot camp together?
No, I only made it past like the first round. Like I did the round and I was like, we were young then. I remember like
Really
young, and you would go to Scotiabank Theater, like the movie theater, Ginny, and they would fill an entire auditorium of people. So there's a lineup all the way outside around the building. All your competitors, and they filled up an entire movie theater, and row by row, you would stand in front of the entire auditorium, and each person would sing. And then by the end, they would say, and then they'd just go, okay, you and you stay. And then it was like everyone would leave, and then it was only like a handful of people left in the room after. An entire movie theater worth of people like gone and like maybe 10 people left behind. And then there was like the next round where you go in front of the judges.
And they're filming every person too, right? Like they're capturing the moment.
Yeah, but you went through right to the end. Like you said, you were the sixth, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I remember I was with Andrea Henry. So she made it into the band and she was so lovely.
Yeah.
Yes. Because I prepared the wrong song and she helped me. And I remember her being like, let's work on this song. I'll help you with it. She was so sweet. I liked her. I remember. And it was like, we're in competition and this girl's just helping me. And anyway.
Yeah.
Considering how far you came and it doesn't did you take any vocal lessons or this sounds like a lot of just natural talent that you had?
Yeah, I mean, my family's musical. Like my grandfather played every single instrument. My dad can play instruments. My parents can both sing. There's music in my house. Good music.
And karaoke. A lot of karaoke.
Yeah, and then in high school, I played the tenor sax and the oboe and the acoustic guitar.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's in me.
It's in your blood.
It's in my blood. The learning and the evolution of my voice development. I had that natural thing. And then there was a lot of context put on it and it confused me for a while. And I think that held me back. And then, I don't know, at some point I grew past the trying to figure out my voice and just it matured. And now it's just I wish my voice was like this my whole life. It's so free,
Mm-hmm.
But I have had excellent teachers too that have helped me along the way that just kind of helped me come back to my
Oh,
natural
to your
voice.
natural. Yeah.
Even though I needed to strengthen areas or whatever that technical stuff is, it was just like, oh, it just needed the time it needed and the practice it needed to become.
Right. And to evolve, right? Like we're growing, we're constantly changing like our anatomy, like physically, right? Things are
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
yeah, things are changing and you became this beautiful singer. I mean, and it's just going to keep going.
It's just going to keep going. I really love my 44-year-old voice. It is so much more chill.
Yeah.
It's chill, it's predictable. It's like it's just what it is. And I'm like, oh my God, I really can whistle tone. Like, how did that, if I like that little girl who sang From a Distance, belting it and thinking that's like, oh, the highest I could sing, or like, this is what I was capable of, or this is what I could do. And
That's your limit.
that's my limit. So it's fun to like continue to discover things about my instrument,
Right. I mean, you've known it now for 44 years. It's going to be better than the 9 years or whatever that you did.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm really curious, Rhoslynne. You had all these sort of pop music opportunities, and you said at that moment you're like, "I'm working for Disney." You had this opportunity to maybe go a different path.
Yeah.
Was there something in the performance aspect of theater and being on stage, performing as an actor, that also is why you've continued sort of in that path, as opposed to maybe the pop music route? Like, have you found that that has been more the route?
I feel like, oh my gosh, I think it's, I think of my instruments, right? You spend so much time focusing on something and refining it or whatever, but then other things excite you and other things make you curious. And I don't think it was ever really a conscious choice that I didn't want to be involved in music anymore or the studio anymore. Like, I feel like I'm actually back in the studio again. And it's like, oh yeah, I love this part too. And I also love the live performance. I love this. Like, I just performed with elementary school friends and jammed on his original music. And he just trusted me enough to just like, hey, learn these songs, sure, add harmonies, do whatever you want. And we showed up the day we didn't rehearse. And it was like this magical moment of something we hadn't done since we were 18 and we're in our 40s now. I just think I'm learning more that I think like it wasn't a conscious thing. It's a wow, I'm exploring and there's all this momentum. And then, wait, I have this skill. I should probably think about this and start putting energy. And then like it just would make an effect on all the things that I would pay attention to, the opportunities that would come my way, how I would see things, how I could reframe things so they could work. Because even the idea, like now that I'm back in music theater, I say back in music theater, it's been like 3 years of stepping back into the pursuit of it or existing it or being in the shows and letting that schedule take over my family's life, Yeah. Like, it's like, I don't think if I hadn't reframed it somehow, I still would only be doing film and TV and commercials, which is like also so crazy to do. Alongside being a single parent, it's like, or any type of parent, right? It's just like, it's a lot. So,
It sounds like you were taking a lot of inspired action, right? You would get an inspiration.
I act right away. I'm the fastest action person. Sometimes I need to slow down and take a breath, And so what a practice it is to slow down, like just slow enough to be like, yes, okay. Yes, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Sometimes the yup is like fear, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's taken you to all these amazing places. And I will touch just a little bit on the Disney Cruise Line because that's where I met you.
Yeah.
20 years ago.
20 years ago, my niece is playing Mulan right now. Like she's right now. I know. Completely different track. So like I'm imagining her doing your track.
I know I was recently on the cruise line and it's different. They don't have that. Yeah, I feel like I did it at the right time because then they retired the Golden Mickey show and they didn't get to do that. I had this miraculous
Carried this flag like a warrior. And we were like, why you
it hoisted up on someone's shoulder and I grabbed this huge curtain and then I whipped out my hair like I'm a woman now.
Yeah.
It was it was great. I loved it. I loved that track.
Yeah.
It's too bad that it is no longer.
Yes.
But
is.
how was that experience for you? So you only did one.
I did 2
You did do
and
2.
a replacement.
Okay, so you ended up doing 3 because I did 3. I did 2 back. And then I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And then they went transatlantic, and I was like, okay, one more, one more,
One more. One more.
one more.
One more for those pics.
Yeah, yes, for a summer in the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
Fine.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's a lifestyle. It really is.
It was a gift, but I was, you can't get a life started.
I saved no money. Like it was
No.
just too much fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, how was that experience for you?
Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, I went to an open call and then it was,
too.
I forget what I sang. What did I sing? It was His Eyes on the Sparrow. And I did no research at all. Well, I was just like, Disney, I could be Mulan.
Yeah,
Like
there's something.
I come in and I'm like, rifftastic. That's what me. They're like, what is she on? But then Noreen Weibel pulls me aside and she's like, can you do this? And I'm like singing all this Hercules the musical, which was the show I ended up being cast in. Hercules, their movie. It's fun music. And I'm just like, da, da, da.
Right, because it's very poppy, right?
Yeah, this was like imitating the melodies she's playing for me. And I'm just like having fun, whatever. And then off I go. And then in the middle of Pop Stars, they call and they're like, we'd like to offer you a part as a muse, as a waltzer. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what any of that means. And I come and and I couldn't dance, but it was really dancey, really fast. Like I cried through the whole thing because like through the rehearsal process, I was late by a week. So they already knew 0 to Hero, which is like a crazy fast number.
Sharp.
For kids. So, and Disney is like toes on this line where it lifts down and up. We want your toes right there at 1. Like it's like so maniacal. So everyone was sharp and I was like so confused, but I did it and I got better and I became a better dancer through it. And, like it was so much fun. It was the best 8 months ever. So I went back on again, this time with my now ex-husband, and he's one track. I'm another track. I'm in that show that Ginny and I have both done. And it was also a fun time, and I got to be a muse again, play the same, well, maybe I guess it was not exactly the same track, but the same idea, same costume, different wig. I danced a lot. By the time I got back, I'd gone through Sheridan, gone through The Lion King, gone through Pop Stars. Like my skills as a dancer went up. And so I was doing some of the dance tracks. Like it was like, how am I being lifted? This is weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. We kind of just skimmed over this, but I think we need to talk about The Lion King.
Oh, The Lion King.
Because that's a pretty big role to inhabit. So what was that experience like?
That was really cool because I was actually auditioning for Mamma Mia, and through that appointment, casting and Stephanie asked if I could hum along some melody, and they had the Nala music there. I think this is like after we went through my book. Like we went through my book is like all the music, all the varieties of things that I can sing.
Right. So you knew she really liked you.
Yeah.
I mean, she does not do that. Yeah, and this is Stephanie Gorin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Busy lady. Like
she's been
liked
in
you
my corner from day one, like she's so in my corner. Oh, I'm so grateful for her. So she saw potential in me, guys. And she saw potential in that little girl. And like, I just sang everything. And then they pulled out the Nala stuff. And I'm just like humming along. Maybe it was a Nana, Lala. I don't know. I don't really know. And then that started the process of auditioning for The Lion King, like the show itself. And it was callbacks and work sessions to help shape the Disney track versions. If we're talking about Disney, it's the same standard or the same meticulous, maniacal, detail-oriented things that they expect from their work transfers right over to theater. It's exactly the same thing. It's the same thing for the movies, So they were looking for very specific things at the time, and I was meeting them. I was rising to them. I was learning. I definitely went through a whole growth experience through that, like preparing grooming process, and then after that you find yourself at it's like September 11th, like the September 11th is the final callback day for my the day that changed everything for me in a lot of ways. And it was an interesting day because everyone's from New York and I'm singing a song that's all about like devastation over the land. And it was like, I didn't need to act anything. It was a weird, magical, heartbreaking thing I was young. I really didn't have any concept of that. I don't think I'd ever really seen anything so graphic in real life through film that was like, this isn't the movies. And so it was a really, really emotional, heavy day, you know? And at that time I lived like right across from the Princess of Wales Theater. I could see the CN Tower. I could see like the helicopters because, you know, people were worried. And I can't believe we still had those callbacks. Like it was at the National Ballet. And
Right. So it was all right there.
it was all right there. And somehow art was still being made. And that day I crossed paths with people who'd be like my bestest friends still today. Like, you know? And so like, such a tragic day, but also a magical day for everyone. And just seeing like people that I still see now, like behind the table even, it's just like, we were all there for that moment in the world. Ugh, so heavy, but like,
Yeah.
it's
But poignant. Like it sounds like it was yeah, just like a profound, like it's something that stuck with you over the years.
Like you remember
Yeah.
every detail.
forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, forever.
So at what point, I'm just going to transition us out from sort of these theater experiences a little bit, and I might be fast tracking us too much, I'm not sure, but then you start to work in film and television.
Right.
Like I know like Silent Hill is like 2000 and that's still like, even to this day, you've got like a true fan following from that film. And and there's a lot of movement, embodiment in that role. But in terms of film and TV, so when does that kind of start to pick up for you? And what's that experience of transitioning from stage to screen?
Yeah, I think the transition felt natural at first. And then my overthinking brain, who wanted to do everything right, took every tidbit from every class extremely personally, that I kind of lost myself a little, I think, in trying to figure out how to be in
All
this
the things.
frame. Yeah, like the too bigness or my eyes are crazy. Like I think of like all of these little statements that I was like, yep, you're right. Like, no, it's just that scene. Like it's like, you know, like these little on-camera hangups that kind of made my transition uncomfortable when it was actually like natural at first until I started that stuff.
Right. Nitpicking on little things that just really made your performance stiff.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like I'm thinking about what my eyes are doing. I understand I could blink too much. I understand. But like, you know, but it was definitely something I was always curious about, film and TV, because that's my first intro into storytelling. So it's always something I wanted to do. But yeah, you know, you focus in one thing and I'm like in music theater world and I'm living and I'm thriving in it. But you get an agent and you're like, oh, this is fun being on set for a commercial. Oh, this is fun. Oh, I like this. Why couldn't I do that? Right. I should probably focus on that. So I would start taking classes, and I'm still a big fan of taking classes. I love it. Love it. But yeah, I just kind of feel like if I think of casting for someone to know me for as long as they have and then watch my interests shift, they're going to support it. They're going to support also the exploration of that, you know? So I feel like my opportunities were easy, but it's because of all the work and how, like, what I did leading up to that would make someone go, yeah, you know what? Why not a principal part, even though she's never been on camera speaking before? Like, why not? Let's see. Right?
Yeah.
So when I booked Silent Hill as my first booking, and that got me into Actrell right away, I didn't understand that it was big. I didn't understand. I didn't like Google who Sony was. Like I knew Sony because of music. I was like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Like, of course they produce everything. Like I didn't even understand, you know? And I learned a lot doing that film. It's like so fast, and I didn't even understand. Like I knew when I was cast, I knew that was exciting. And then I felt like that extra specialness of like, oh, I'm one of the three. I get to fight. Okay, whatever that means. It's probably like dancing. Like I'd not done stunts before. Like even the call to do that, to audition, to book it, I'm in the room of my contemporaries who are like dancer first. And I'm like, I don't know why I'm here. And they're like, here's the music, here's some words, embody that. And for some reason, they liked my interpretation of that movement. It's like, I'm a singer.
Right.
Get it.
Right. All of those experiences led up to that moment.
So, like feeling like I could movie jerky like I did.
Yeah.
Like pretend you're a zombie nurse in a hot, sexy nurse outfit. Okay. But this tone and these words, and it's like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I learned so much. And I just like fell in love with that side of things, you know? Yeah.
And then you've grown from there in terms of like the roles that you've been able to inhabit, some that are recurring, also some musical series where you get to like, you know, explore a bit of that as well. We could talk about, you know,
Top
Ghostwriter, we could talk about Top Line, Murdoch Mysteries. Is there one that sticks out for you in terms of an experience that you really enjoyed?
Special.
I mean, we could talk about more than one.
I I actually just saw you on TV. I was catching up on Sorta, and I saw you on there.
One.
Yeah, working with Amanda Brugel. You've worked with her a few times, right? You've worked with her.
Yeah, on sort of, and it's funny because it's like her trailer was right here and mine was there, but we didn't see each other at all because we're on Zoom calls for that season together. So it's like I worked with her again, but we just had energy around.
Right. It was just the energy. Yes.
Just energy. Yeah. But like my first booking back after taking a break from like working in the arts at all was Kim's Convenience. I mean, I'd watched some episodes and, you know, I don't know, like it's like I had all of these hangups coming back to the industry after having 3 kids. I was like, I'm too big. I'm too old. I'm like, why am I thinking like I'm going to be some girl in a beer commercial? Like I'm probably, I mean, put in the outfit, maybe, but I think in my eyes, it'll be like she has lived life. You know?
She has too much experience to just be chilling, popping beers back in the barbecue. Yeah.
Yeah, like if only I could just focus on chilling out when I'm chilling out, you know?
But that's a really good point because when you're in different stages of your life and then now you're coming back to the industry after a hiatus, you're now also in a different category in terms of casting. So that's kind of an adjustment stage as well.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's like all outside work, but you must do the inside stuff. It's like, oh my God. And it was like at that point, I'd been helping my daughters with film and TV and music theater and stuff. I was like that stage mom that like knew a lot. Like,
right.
You know, like I was like, I know how to be a team player in this moment. I know how to back up. Like, it's like, this is good. But it was like the stepping back into it, knowing that they were watching me. Like there was no way of hiding it. We built a studio in our home. It was like, hey, we're doing this. We're focusing on it. So there was a lot different for sure coming back. I didn't mean to stay away for so long. I just couldn't see how.
So how did you end up balancing all of that? Because you had all 3. It's not like you had one, you came back, you had another, came back. You had all 3.
All 3.
And then it was sort of after your 3rd one that you were like, okay.
Yeah. After my 3rd one, and we had moved out of the city, so we were far, far away. We were in Bradford. And how did we find the balance? Well, I mean, I have an awesome network marketing business called Arbonne, which allows me the flexibility to work from home and helped me and my husband stay home full-time, 3 full-time jobs with kids, obviously. Or is it like being a parent is like an equivalent of 2.5 jobs? So
2.5. You saw that article? Yeah.
Is that per kid? I think so, right?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, right? It might as well be. Depending on the ages, the kids. Yeah. So it was like, you know, at first it was just one kid's in school, Trevor's with the kid, and I'm going in whenever adults audition. But the kids would always need audition during after school hours. Sometimes it'd be like, I'm back and forth from Bradford to make things work. We were willing to be flexible without sacrificing all the important things we needed to be present for, right? So it was, I don't think that's a normal situation at all.
Mm-hmm.
Both parents at home, you know?
Right. And both both
And both
performers.
actors. That's a good
Yeah.
point. And both actors. So like we're both on call. We're both
Mhm.
very present parents,
Yes.
you know? And like we did this throughout COVID too, like, you know, with the virtual school and all that kind of stuff. So I think the structure is important. How do you balance the structure with the flexibility around it? In the context of my life now, I'm like that single parent. My kids are now 8, 10, and 13. And yeah, very
Wow.
different brains and places, right? And the kids are with me full time, and it takes a village. And I'm the busiest I've ever been, doing everything I love doing. I wouldn't change it for anything, but it's so busy. Today, I wasn't sure if I could say something nice about my kids. It was like, I was like, I'm gonna be on this thing for mothers from the
And I've got nothing to say. Clean your room. Just stay in my way.
Yes, we can all laugh about it because we've all been there.
And it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what kind of parent you are. If you're a parent, it's like, oh, you're juggling so much. And it's like hard to remember. She's only 10 or she's only 8 or she's only 3. I don't know how I'm doing it and how it feels easy. I mean, I'm a big fan of color coding my calendar. And just recently, this wonderful guy in my life, my boyfriend, he was like, why don't you actually schedule in all the things you're also thinking about that you know you're going to get to? What if you just like time block it and like, because you know when you're gonna, and it can be flexible, blurry boundaries, but maybe that'll take the, you know, the space.
Like write it down so it's not just living here. It can just be
Write it
here.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if it's like the obvious things. And like now that it's all in there, I literally feel like is it been like not even a week yet? But I'm just trusting that it's all gonna get done. It's all gonna get done and there's more to do tomorrow. So it's all in there. I know I'm gonna get to it so I can actually be more present. I think that's been the most challenging part is that your attention is so spread out that your amount of presence, my gosh, it needs to be like so focused on anything, whether it's your kids or yourself or whatever thing you're working on. Right.
Yeah.
So I think refining that ability to get back to actually focusing on something when we're overstimulated by everything. I feel more peaceful because I do these things. I know there's time. I don't need to figure it out. I know I would have done it anyway, but somehow kind of honoring those boundaries so that when I am like working my little online business, I'm not thinking of the sides and the script and the music that I'm learning and I need to pick up that on the way from school pickup. It's like, I know I can just focus on the next 15 minutes on these things. Done that job, put on a different hat.
Yeah.
Now working on these sides. Only these ones, not the other things.
Yes. And not the sides you have to do tomorrow because you've already decided I'm doing this one today, that one tomorrow.
Yeah, and there's time to book the reader after I'm done this thing. Like I don't have to do it right now because I'm thinking of it. Like I can, like I know it's gonna get done. I love that A-type stuff, but you really have to be consistent with honoring that A-type stuff. So
right, because otherwise then you forget to write it down, and then next thing you know, you're like, this didn't work.
This doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I that's actually a good reminder. It's something I was just thinking the other day. I was like, I need to get back to doing that because I was doing it. And every Sunday I was like, you know, for an hour, I'm going to sit down. I'm going to write down all the things that I have to do this week.
Yeah.
And then, yes. But, and then I kind of got out of it because I don't know, I was less busy or whatever. And then things are ramping back up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm forgetting things.
Yeah. The calendar tool becomes such an asset because I'm the same. I'll look at my calendar for the week ahead, like on a Sunday, and I'll be like, okay, what do I have happening this week? Because you do have to like manage your time, you know, there's like it's just time management and things will always inevitably creep up in the schedule that you didn't plan for. And then you got to manage that. But who are better multitaskers and get shit doners than moms? So,
yeah. I wish I could redefine that term multitasker. Like it's like, because you really can't. Like we do so many things is what it really means, right?
Yeah. It was my aunt who sent this message to me after listening to our podcast, and I shared it with Ginny because I thought it was so good. It was like, if you need something to get done, give it to busy people because they're already busy. And and they'll get it done, right? They can actually take it on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they know how to get it done.
Right. They don't have time to delay. Yeah. They're like, okay, let's just do this now.
Let's just do it. Check mark.
Yeah.
I love check mark.
Rhoslynne, I just wanted to talk a little bit about, being an actor, the industry can also have slow periods. How do you manage through those slower periods? Do you do anything specific to not let it get you down? Is there advice that you've received from mentors along the way, or anything that you could share for other actors who might be struggling?
I think the idea of a slow period is different for everyone. Because sometimes it's like, it's slow because it's been this long since I made money, or it's slow since the last time I did this skill, or it's slow since the last time I had a tape or had this type of experience. And I think having done this so long and have I really should delete all of the tapes. I should delete all the work that we've done over, like, even if we just think through the COVID time where it's like, oh, now we all have our versions of our own studios. My goodness, the amount of being able to track how much work I've done in that way is insane to see. And my perception on all of that is that I've been busy because
in one way or another, basically.
In one way or another, because if it's just tied to monetary things, listen, I've been the starving actor, totally, odd jobs, all the things. And to have people judged me for focusing on something else, like my Arbonne business, because it was like, oh no, now you're not really an actor. It's like interchange that with any other degree, it probably wouldn't have been a problem, but perceptions of an industry, whatever. But the act of focusing on something else that ends up supporting my life in the way that it does, so that when I am doing my art, even though I want to win, I want that role. I could approach it from that desperate places. I'm only going to win if I'm going to make the money, I think is a different underlying thing that produced different work versus the girl who's like, well, I know I can take care of myself, whether I book this or not, I totally want it. I want all the money. I want all the things. I want the process. I want the whole thing, but it doesn't, I think I'm winning the whole time,
Yeah. I love that.
What a great mindset. What a great
I know.
mindset.
It's a
So great.
winning thing, because, and it's not I'm so good, I'm a winner. How can you frame it for yourself so that the things you need to do to get what you want is actually you respect it enough that you're like, yeah, but I get to do this. I mean, this morning, I had that morning with my kids, and it was the worst morning ever. And I got home and I should have had my hair and my makeup done for my tape at 10, which I never do at 10 because I know I like to wind up and do not important, but and so
your process.
My minutes were counted, and it was I'm doing this in this thing. And I came into the meeting with my friend in New York City. She's on Broadway. She's so talented. And she's also an old Disney Cruise Line friend. And she's like, yeah, we're playing, right? We get to play. And it's oh yeah, I can still use all of the irritating energy that I had in my body, and probably still do now in this moment, now that I'm talking about it. But it's oh, this still fuels this person that I'm being for 2 seconds. All still works with the choices I made or the things I discovered from my tape. But yeah, this person just lived her fucking life, and she's gonna do this thing in this moment with this other person, And it's oh yeah,
it's using our real life, because
using our real life. And I mean, my life feels so busy that I've noticed that when I get the ding from my agent, it's oh, actor's access.
Right. C-mail.
I know, I'm literally how the fuck am I gonna do this? I literally was how am I gonna get this text of my life? Literally so excited, and then wide-eyed worried. And even that reframing of it. It's wait, I want to be so busy, I don't know what I'm doing. So it's going to feel crazy. So when that comes in, it's that's what I want.
Yes.
Like, let's take a breath and be like, I can figure this out. I can figure this out. Like, it's just like just a different thing. And like the practice, me noticing that and then practicing clocking it and just saying something that I probably wasn't even feeling. I was probably like, holy shit, I need to book a reader. I just booked one. I couldn't find anyone. You know, that actor brain where you're like, I gotta solve this problem so that I can just do my team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Around life, around like your kid has the flu and the this, and then you're rehearsing for that, and you're making the money a different way. Like, it's just like,
yeah.
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 It's a
Yeah.
juggling act.
I remember feeling that way when I did have my full-time job, and it would be like, I'd be super excited when that C-mail came in. I have an audition, and I'd be like, crap, who am I going to get to cover my shift?
yes,
Right. And it's just like, oh, and that weight
yeah,
of like having to do that. And then, yeah, reframing it to be like, you know what? I have this good thing coming my way.
all figure outable. Yeah.
Yes, we will
Yeah.
figure it out.
Yeah,
We will figure it out.
yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, I feel like we're reaching our hour, but there's a couple things we definitely want to touch on your theater stuff that
Okay.
you've had going on with
Okay.
Andrew. This is like your third production with Andrew, so
Feels so
amazing. There was The Man with the Golden Heart, Rosamund, and now coming up this July for the Toronto Fringe Festival, Almost Ever After, which is July 2nd to the 13th. Where is that? Do you know what theater it's going to be at?
Artist Play, I think is what it's called. It's right
Okay.
across from Crow's Theater. It's on the east.
Okay,
side.
beautiful. Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Do you want to
Yeah.
talk a little bit about that?
Oh my gosh. Well, we just filmed the trailer. I was in the studio for 2 seconds to record my part of the song for the trailer. That just happened and that was fun. And like, I only know who's been cast based on my conversations with him and also like announcements and all that kind of stuff. And I get there and the ensemble is there and I like, it was just like, I can't believe how big the cast is. Yeah, and it was just like a really fun vibe. The song is fun. I mean, I don't know what else I can say except that his music is always so beautiful. The storylines in this one are quite interesting.
Okay.
I play the Tempest, and it's just like it's a good story.
It's going to be
It's
good. You're just
great.
going to have to come watch it.
Yes.
You have us intrigued.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the other productions that you've done with Andrew, I think most of the shows have been completely sold out. So it's a testament to the production. So get your tickets early, people.
Yes.
Anyway.
And also because I mean, I think he's been asking you to join him, right?
Yeah.
It's not like you're part of this big audition process and stuff like.
Aw.
So I think that's a testament to you and your
Oh my
talent
gosh.
and your dedication.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we play well together, and I'm really grateful that he's given me these opportunities. I'm grateful that he found me. And if he's listening to this is where he would be laughing because I thank him all the time for finding me because he just like found me. That's how I got back into music theater. It's like this opportunity dropped into my lap, but it doesn't really happen that way. Everything led up to it. In the
Yes,
right way.
absolutely. Sometimes it feels that way but that is, the luck meeting preparedness
Yeah.
and that's what we're all just hoping for. Staying prepared, being
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
I am ready.
Final question. Ginny, do you want to ask the final question?
Sure, yeah. Yes.
Okay.
When you hear the phrase hitting her mark, what does that image conjure up for you? Like what does it mean? What does success mean to you, both professionally, personally, any way you want to take it?
Yeah, I think of hitting her mark because it can only be hers, So it's not really like come and meet at this point. It's like go meet yourself.
I
Go
like
meet
that.
hitting her mark. That's what I see. It's like a meeting with oneself. I'm so cheesy, but that's just literally what I feel about that. Yeah.
I love that
Yeah,
answer.
that's a great interpretation.
Yeah, I think that just applies beautifully with whatever you're pursuing, and as you're being a parent or as, living your life outside of what you're pursuing, doing the arts, whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like coming back to yourself.
Coming back to yourself, right? Yeah. Because you're never the same. And it's not even like it is coming back to yourself and it is meeting up with oneself, but it's like if you're constantly evolving and changing because you are, whichever way one wants to change, and grow. You know, like I think it's not like you're reaching for yourself. There really is something energetically, something about meeting up with who you are right now.
Mm-hmm. Great answer. And I feel honestly, one of the reasons why I like acting so much is because I feel like I'm always growing. I'm always discovering different parts of myself sometimes along the way. And just like I am as a mother, you're doing that alongside this acting journey as well. So yeah, I think that's a really beautiful response. Thank you so much, Rhoslynne, for being here with us today. This was awesome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It was such a fun conversation to have with Rhoslynne because we're both friends with her. So it really just felt, it just really felt like a nice chat with an old friend. And we got to learn so much more about her and her journey to becoming where she is now. Like, I didn't know she just had all this natural talent and she could have been a pop star.
I know. It's amazing, right? Like that history of her like auditioning for pop star, then being offered, like she was number 6 because the group had 5 people in it, and then being offered a spot. It's wild. Her life could have looked very different maybe if she had gone on that path, But yeah, and then you having that experience working with her on the cruise ship.
Yeah. So we only did like crossover. So we spent like 1 week sort of together. So she was on Wonder 10 and I was Wonder 11. And you do 1 week of crossover. So we get to watch their performances for the week.
Cool.
And then we kind of transition in. So it's a really fun week because it's the one time where, you have 2 casts on at the same time.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, and she's had a lot of really cool musical theater experiences, and she's done a lot of work in that realm. She's such a wonderful mom too, and even helping her kids, kind of navigate the industry as well. She touched on that, and she's just so energetic. So she thrives in this like busy life, even though it can be nutty sometimes. It seems to be something that fulfills her so much.
Yeah, and it was a really good reminder about the calendar. And like just writing things down. And I think like I'm going to have to do that because especially now with the podcast and all the other things that we're doing.
Yeah. You actually made a really good point about that, about saying how like by writing it down, it clears up mental space for you. And then you can just refer to it instead of keeping it, running in your mind.
Don't forget. And that's something that, my husband also does. And he's a thinker too, right? And sometimes when you wake up in the middle of the night, and that's sort of like, that's always the tip. They're like, just whatever you're thinking about, just write it down so that you can be like, I'll deal with it in the morning. Otherwise, you're going to toss and turn thinking like the same thing over and over again.
Oh, that's so interesting. I didn't even know that. That's something I'm going to do. I toss and turn a lot sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we all do.
Yeah. Overall, it felt like, yeah, like you said, like friends hanging out. I think she's also got some spiritual practices, and I just hope that people are taking away what we're even taking away through these interviews, tips and tricks on how to navigate our career and our lives while pursuing this passion.
What's also really important is just to hear other people going through the same thing. Because especially in this industry, I feel like we can be very siloed, and especially now we're not even going into the room to audition. So listening to the podcast, listening to other women talk about their stories, talking about their struggles and how they persevere.
Yeah.
It is nice to know that you're not alone.
Yeah, it's creating community, I think.
Yes, that's the word. So if you are so inspired, if you have stumbled upon this podcast and you like what you hear and you have friends or other people in the industry who you think this will resonate with, please share, like, subscribe, give us a little, what is it called? Review. Yes. We haven't had a review
yet. We need a review. Review us. But if you don't like it, then don't review it.
And don't review.
Keep it to yourself.
Keep your 1 star to yourself. Yeah. But if it's 4 stars and up, please
give it to us. We'll take it. On that note, thanks everyone for tuning in.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.